is one of the most treasured rights in our society, the freedom to gather for peaceful protest. But there are some who believe that right is now being misused and even abused. Let's go live to Shauna Hunt with the effort to push protests away from certain spaces, including houses of worship. Shauna.
And Cynthia, this is the third time since Sunday that protesters have targeted synagogues here in the city of Vaughan. And this time, both sides are out in full force. So I'm going to give you a better look at the scene here. You can see that members of the Jewish community, they came out in full force. They're gathering en masse. And right now they are, lining the property of the synagogue. And then right across the street, pro-Palestinian protesters are set up there. You can also see a very large police presence. These officers are here to keep the peace. And this all comes as lots of concerns are being raised over, allowing demonstrations like this to happen outside places of worship.
There are limits to free speech. When people become intimidated and become fearful in their own neighborhoods, then it's time for the government to step in.
The Center for Israel and Jewish Affairs, along with other community leaders, are calling on the Ford government to take action and create bubble legislation that would ban demonstrations at places of worship, community centers, schools, and daycares.
I actually couldn't care less if pro-Palestinian protesters gather downtown. But to come to the doorstep of our congregation is where we say, you've crossed a red line. That's enough. And we have to, you push us, we're gonna push back.
3 levels of government released a joint statement ahead of this protest, with the mayor of Vaughan, the area's MP and MPP, all saying, we share these concerns. It is unacceptable that a place of worship or nearby schools and daycares be targeted in this way.
It's not something that's a priority right now. The federal government has some tools, and if that's something that they want to consider, then we'll hear what the federal government has to say on that.
This is the third time this week a Vaughan synagogue has been the site of a protest. What did you experience on Sunday?
Just a lot of tension and aggravation and, fear.
Why not take it to the streets or to Queen's Park or Parliament Hill or something like that instead of a place of worship?
We have been. I don't know if you have been following the news. We have been rallying in front of any official structure that is furthering the genocide of the Palestinians.
Pro-Palestinian demonstrators tell me they're here today taking issue with real estate events being held at synagogues this week that are showcasing homes for sale in Israel, but also include some property in Israeli-occupied West Bank.
The message here is plain and simple. They want as much as Palestinian land they can get with as little Palestinians here.
But the Jewish community says that's not the case.
A very small percentage of those are in the disputed territories across the Green Line. But those have already been apportioned by the state of Israel for Jewish settlements. No Palestinian land was stolen, as they are accusing us.
Now, we have seen a few heated scuffles today, a few fistfights breaking out between the two sides. We know of at least one person that has been arrested, but right now you can see the crowds are starting to thin out, and overall, Cynthia, I can tell you that these dueling protests have been peaceful. Back to you.